Have you ever wondered how it all might end? Not in some far-fetched Hollywood movie, but in reality, according to science, we're going to explore 7 scientifically plausible ways our world could face its final curtain. Stick around, because the last one is by far the most terrifying, precisely because we can't see it coming. Let's start with a classic, an asteroid impact. We all know the story of the dinosaurs, wiped out by a rock from space about 66 million years ago. A similar event today would be catastrophic. Imagine a city-sized asteroid hitting Earth. The initial impact would vaporize everything at ground zero, sending shockwaves across the globe, triggering earthquakes and tsunamis of unimaginable scale. But the real killer would be the aftermath. Dust and debris thrown into the atmosphere would block out the sun for years, creating an impact winter. Photosynthesis would stop, plants would die, the food chain would collapse, and our civilization would freeze and starve. 2. Good news. NASA and other space agencies are actively tracking near-Earth's objects. We have programs dedicated to detecting potential threats and are even developing methods to deflect them. It's a race against time, but at least we're in the race. Next up, something from the depths of space. A gamma-ray burst. These are the most powerful explosions in the universe, typically caused by the collapse of a massive star or the collision of neutron stars. If one of these were to happen within our own galaxy and its beam were aimed directly at Earth, it would be lights out in an instant. The burst would strip away our planet's ozone layer in a matter of seconds. Without that protective shield, we'd be exposed to lethal levels of ultraviolet radiation from our own sun. It would also create nitrogen oxides in the atmosphere, leading to a dark, reddish smog and intense acid rain. Life on land and in the upper layers of the ocean would be scorched. What makes this so scary is its sheer unpredictability. A gamma-ray burst travels at the speed of light, so we'd have no warning whatsoever. One moment, everything's normal. The next, our atmosphere is gone. Now let's look at a threat from right beneath our feet. A supervolcano eruption. We're not talking about your average volcano. A supervolcano is a volcano capable of producing an eruption 1,000 times larger than a normal one. Yellowstone in the United States is probably the most famous example. If it were to blow, it would eject enormous amounts of ash, rock, and volcanic gases into the atmosphere. The immediate area would be annihilated by pyroclastic flows, superheated clouds of gas and debris moving at hundreds of miles per hour. But the global consequences would be even worse. Just like with an asteroid impact, the sheer volume of ash would create a volcanic winter, blocking sunlight, causing global temperatures to plummet, and leading to widespread crop failure and famine. The last known supereruption was Toba, about 74,000 years ago, and it's thought to have pushed humanity to the brink of extinction, from natural disasters to a man-made one. An AI takeover. This might sound like science fiction, but many leading scientists and technologists, including the late Stephen Hawking and Elon Musk, have warned about the potential dangers of artificial general intelligence, or AGI. This is an AI that can think, learn, and understand on the same level as a human, or even surpass us. The concern isn't about malevolent robots with red eyes. It's about an AI so intelligent that its goals, whatever they may be, could conflict with our survival. If a superintelligence decides that humanity is an obstacle to its objective, say, maximizing paperclip production, it could eliminate us with cold, calculated efficiency, not out of malice, but simply because we're in the way. The transition from a beneficial tool to an existential threat could happen incredibly quickly, a moment known as the intelligence explosion, leaving us powerless to stop it. The challenge is creating an AI that is not just smart, but also fundamentally aligned with human values and survival, a problem we haven't even begun to solve. Let's talk about another self-inflicted doomsday scenario: nuclear winter. Since the Cold War, the threat of global thermonuclear war has loomed over humanity. While the immediate destruction from nuclear blasts would be horrifying, killing millions in a flash, the long-term environmental consequences could be what ends civilization. A large-scale nuclear exchange would ignite massive firestorms in cities and industrial areas, sending huge plumes of black soot into the upper atmosphere. This soot would be incredibly effective at blocking sunlight. Climate models predict that even a limited nuclear war, for example between India and Pakistan, could cause a significant drop in global temperatures, disrupting agriculture worldwide and leading to a global famine. A full-scale war between major nuclear powers would trigger a deep nuclear winter, plunging the planet into a dark frozen state for a decade or more, making it impossible to grow food, and leading to the collapse of society as we know it. It's a terrifying reminder of how our own technology could become our downfall. The sixth scenario is one we're already grappling with: a climate tipping point. This isn't a single, sudden event, but a threshold. We're pushing our planet's climate system to its limits with greenhouse gas emissions. A tipping point is a point of no return, where a small change kicks off a cascade of unstoppable, self-reinforcing effects. For example, the melting of Arctic permafrost could release massive amounts of trapped methane, a potent greenhouse gas, which would cause even more warming, which would melt more permafrost. Another tipping point could be the collapse of the Amazon rainforest or the shutdown of major ocean currents, like the Atlantic Meridional overturning circulation, which regulates weather patterns in the northern hemisphere. Once we cross these thresholds, the climate could shift into a new, much hotter state, often called a hothouse Earth scenario, making large parts of the planet uninhabitable due to extreme heat, sea level rise, and ecological collapse. Unlike other scenarios, this is a slow-motion disaster that we are actively contributing to right now. And finally, we've arrived at the last, and perhaps the scariest, potential end of the world: the unknown cosmic event. What makes this so frightening is that we have absolutely no idea what it could be. Our understanding of the universe is still incredibly limited. There could be phenomena out there that we haven't even theorized yet, operating on principles of physics we don't comprehend. Maybe it's something like a false vacuum decay, where a bubble of a more stable universe spontaneously appears and expands at the speed of light, rewriting the laws of physics as it goes and obliterating everything in its path. There would be no warning, no defense, just an instantaneous erasure of existence. Or perhaps it's an encounter with a strange form of matter or energy, a cosmic entity, or a fundamental property of the universe that we've simply never encountered before. This scenario highlights our cosmic fragility. We are a tiny, fragile island of life in a vast, mysterious, and potentially dangerous ocean. So there you have it, 7 scientifically plausible ways the world could end, from asteroids and volcanoes to our own creations and the vast, terrifying unknown of space. It's a sobering thought, but it also highlights how precious and precarious our existence truly is. Which of these scenarios do you find the most concerning? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoy thinking about these big questions, make sure to like and subscribe for more content. See you next time!